Real, lasting life change. How do you make real, lasting life change? I'll tell you, the most powerful key that I learned was to understand the power of my subconscious and my other than conscious. The belief systems that we have more or less been programmed with since we were born. Most of us, the way it works is you are pretty well programmed and hardwired, or got a software download before you're probably able to even speak. Definitely before the ages you start school, 4, 5, 6. You have come to see the world in one particular way, and that's the way that you have been raised. And there can be great assets in that, wonderful things about the way you were raised, and there can also be things that will limit you and handicap you. But until you harness the power of your subconscious and your other than conscious, I'll call it, it's not just necessarily your unconscious world, but it's the below the surface level of how you live. It's the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of thoughts that you think in a day that you aren't even aware of. And I heard this metaphor years ago. I don't know who to give credit to, but it was the idea that every one of us, our other than conscious and our subconscious, is like an elephant moving toward a destination. The conscious mind is like a little mouse riding on top of the back of an elephant. So the mouse thinks it does all the work. Really, it does nothing much at all. It doesn't really even steer the elephant. The elephant is going in the direction it will go. It is powerful, it is strong, and it pulls a huge amount. It can work and do an incredible amount if you let it. So many people begin to change. They try to change their conscious mind. They try to change what they're doing and what they're thinking and what they're saying on a very conscious level. And they work really hard at it. And when they do, that's like that little mouse who turns around and now he's going in another direction. He wants to go in a different direction in life. But the problem is that little mouse is walking on top of an elephant that is moving this way. And that little mouse can only get so far in life because he's constantly going to be carried in a direction that he was programmed in. That elephant was pre-programmed to go. If you want to turn your life around and make lasting change, you have to get that elephant to turn around. If you can get the elephant to turn around, then the mouse is going to turn around and everything can be moving in the same direction. To do that requires deep work, and I can go into that in other videos, but today I just want you to begin to recognize that if you want true and lasting change, you need to harness the power of your subconscious mind, your other than conscious mind, and begin to make it work for you. The key for lasting change is to harness the greater power, that deeper power, because otherwise, until you do that, you are going to be at odds with yourself. And if you are at odds with yourself, what you consciously decide and the choices that you make will never produce the outcomes that you want. You'll always be more or less fighting against yourself. For true, long, lasting change, you need to dig deep, and I'll show you what I've learned and how I've been able to make change as we go on. Thanks for joining me.